The theme of October at the Psychosynthesis Trust is the journey to the higher consciousness. My name is Giel Luichjes. I'm one of the facilitators at the Trust, and I also work as a clinical psychotherapist. And the first question I ask myself is, why do people want to journey in the first place? What are we looking for when we journey to the higher consciousness? And as people have journeyed for many centuries, there must be something out there. So I got curious, what is it that we find there actually? And this curiosity seems to be going beyond time and place. I can imagine that we try to find answers to the really big questions in life, like, does life have meaning? And why am I here? And what happens after I die? Why am I suffering? And who am I in this unimaginable big universe? And we might also want to escape from our limiting identifications and ego self-talk, and perhaps understand ourselves and the world a little bit better. So how people journey is another question, and there's many ways. You can meditate, you can go into nature, you can dance or make and listen to music in a certain way, getting into a trance. Think of the many festivals people go to. And of course, the use of psychoactive substances is known from all continents and also from many centuries as well. People have used the psychoactive substances or psychedelics, as they are referred to, in all continents as far as we know. So the journey to the higher unconsciousness is one thing. And then the other question, of course, is if we have journeyed, how do we integrate that into our lives? And in psychosynthesis, we invite people to journey into the higher consciousness as well. No substances needed, and integration being an important part of the journey. So if you're interested, just hang in there and follow the guided visualization. I'm happy to guide you through that. Thank you. And if you're ready, just find yourself in wherever you're sitting, perhaps on the ground, perhaps in a wheelchair, perhaps on your chair, and see if you can connect to your feet on the ground. And notice the quality of touch of your feet on the floor, on the cushion, wherever you're sitting and resting. Just take a moment to really bring your attention to your feet. And if you got there, just bring your attention through your ankles to the lower parts of your legs, your knees, and then to your upper legs. Again, noticing the contact that you have with your legs, if you do. And if there's no contact, if there's no feeling, just be aware of that. And then move up with your attention to your hips, the pelvic floor. It's a tight network of muscles. And notice again, what is the quality of your presence there? And then move up to the belly area, the lower leg, the diaphragm, your middle back, your stomach and your lungs, and on the back moving to your shoulders. And in all these areas, from your hips to your shoulders, there might be areas of tension, perhaps some aches and pains, and just notice them. And while you're doing this, this is not to change the state where you're in, just to bring in awareness. How is it feeling? What's your body communicating in its own language, the language of the body? And then from the shoulders, move up to the neck and the throat area, where the vocal cords are, the way you partly express yourself through speech and sound. Again, noticing the quality of your presence there. As you move up, and when you reach your face, there's your mouth, your lips touching each other, the tongue resting in your mouth, your jaw and the jaw muscles, also an area where you might feel some tension. And then notice your nose, your ears, your eyes. Just allowing the gravity to let everything hang loosely. Just allow your arms to be loose alongside your body. Your hands resting perhaps in your lap alongside your body. Any way that you feel comfortable sitting where you are now, or perhaps even lying down. And then you reach with your attention the top of your head. And then again, just scanning alongside the whole body. How are you? How's your body this morning, this afternoon, this evening, whenever you're listening to this video recording? Take a few relaxed breaths. Noticing the subtle movement of your body, expansion on the in-breath, a little pause, relaxation on the out-breath, and again a little pause before the next in-breath. Just allow this rhythm of your body, be a witness, be present. Nothing to do, nowhere to go at this moment. And I'm inviting you to use your imagination and imagine being in green, perhaps a field. It's an accessible space for anyone in any condition. And you're just noticing yourself sitting there, being there. It's a comfortable warm day, a little bit of sun, not too tense, not too intense. It's a light breeze. And you can smell the nature around you, the smell of grass, flowers perhaps. Sometimes the buzzing of an insect passing by. And as you look around this field, you notice that at the end there's a road, and you decide to move towards that, either by wheeling your chair there, just walking there. You notice that this road is a smooth path which leads up a mountain. And you decide that this is a day you're interested to go up that mountain. So you get up on the path. And as you move, you reach a forest on the foot of the mountain. You just keep going in. And as you go in, you notice that the light gets a little bit less because the trees shield off the sun. You just continue to walk and roll up this path through the forest, and the trees are getting more and more dense as you continue. It's getting darker, but you can still see the road clearly. And also you notice how the road becomes a little bit more steep, still doable. You're actually starting to get up the mountain. the way you continue. And you just notice what you see around you. Some bushes, a tree, and another tree, and another. And then the road gets steeper, but it's still doable. With a little bit of effort, you're getting up the mountain. And then actually the trees get less and less. And there are more bushes around, and there's more light shining through. And just keep going up and up and up. Noticing both that you're climbing, rolling up, as well as that this is an intense exercise and yet doable. And then you reach a plateau and you take a break, take a rest, to catch some breath, but also to look back and see the path you've gone. And you can overlook which seems to be a valley. This is where you come from. This was what lay before you. And once you've caught your breath and you feel new energy, you decide to continue rolling or walking up the smooth path all the way up to the mountain. Still doable. And you just take the time you need to go all the way up. And the bushes get less and less, and you notice that the path is mostly surrounded by stones and rocks. It gets a little bit more narrow, but it's still doable to walk and roll up. And then finally you see the top ahead of you. This last part is very steep, so you have to make a real effort to get up. And you do. And then once you're on the top, again there's like a plateau where you can rest and stand or sit, overlooking much further now. You see other mountains, other valleys around you. And then, a little bit unexpected, from the other side of the mountain, you see an old and wise being also climbing up. And it's approaching you with kind eyes and greeting you. And then you meet each other. This could be with words, it could be without words, that this wise being is telling you what this life of you is about. And how the things that you've experienced fit into what this life is about for you. And be this with or without words, just be in that meeting with this wise and old being, receiving its messages. And this old and wise being is also telling you what qualities you need to move further into this life, to move on, so that you, with confidence, can face anything that might come on your way. And just let it tell you what it has to say on this matter, of the qualities that you will need and manifest in this life ahead of you. And perhaps there are things you want to ask and say to this old wise being, and you can do that and just see what comes back. And then you notice that the wise being is indicating that it's time to say goodbye again. But before that, the wise being gives you something, a symbol, something to accompany you on your path. And see if you're willing to accept this little gift. And see what is the appropriate way for you to say goodbye and to thank this old and wise being. And then you do say goodbye to each other. And then you see the old and wise being turn around and going down the path it came up the mountain in its own pace, carefully and gently. And then you decide to have a last look around, overlooking all the other mountains, the valleys that you can see on all sides of the mountain. And then you decide to gently walk or roll back the same path as you came up. Gently, not too fast, taking your time, there's no rush. Just walking down the path, all the way along the bigger and smaller stones, all the way down until you see the bushes growing on the mountainside again. Passing the plateau that you had your little break, no need for that now, it's quite effortless to go down. Just continuing down and down. Until you also see the trees growing again. The path is getting a little bit bigger. The number of trees is growing, so you're really rolling or walking in the forest now. Perhaps you hear a bird, another sound on your left or your right. Just notice it. Whatever you're aware of that is around you in the forest. And just keep going and going. And although it's a little bit darker in the forest, there's still enough light to clearly see the path. And then a little bit in the distance you notice the end of the forest and where the field starts, so you just move up there. And then once you reach the field, you decide to go back on it. And taking another break, taking another rest. Enjoying the light of the sun. Enjoying the smells of the grass. Noticing the buzzing of the insects around you as the air around you touches you, the light breeze. Just notice how your body is feeling right now as you imagine sitting there in the field. Allow yourself to relax, just to be present for another few moments upon the journey, and you're back now, taking a rest and enjoying this moment. Become more and more aware of your body, your physical presence right now in the real room where you're sitting, the space where you're listening to this recording. Gently become aware of the sounds around you, perhaps outside, inside the space you're sitting, perhaps even in your body. Gently bringing yourself back into the space. So wiggle your toes, move your feet, move your legs, your arms, your hands. Just gently move your neck. Just bring yourself back into the space. Once you have arrived, I recommend you to take a few notes on this journey you've just made. Just take a few notes on whatever you received from this all-wise being, on why you are here in this life, and what the things that you have encountered in life be about, how they fit into the story of your life. And particularly pay some attention to the qualities that you have to and will manifest in the coming life, things that you need to be able to navigate yourself through this life. So just take time. You can finish this recording by just stopping it and take some moment to reflect on it. And sometimes it's helpful from and after writing down of your experience to formulate an intention towards yourself. What would you like to take from this journey from here, so that it doesn't stop here, but you can remind yourself now and then of your intention. I hope you enjoyed this journey in a psychosynthesis way, with a guided meditation, guided visualization as we call them. And just keep your eyes and ears open for the other posts coming up. Thank you for joining me, and we might meet one day. Thank you.